Hi everyone, my name is Sean Hardwick, attorney at Hardwick & Krause, and today we're going to be talking about the financial components of a divorce. So specifically, what are marital assets, what are marital liabilities, and what are some considerations you need to think about before filing divorce and going through the divorce process. So first, what are marital assets? So marital assets are any type of asset that were acquired during the marriage. So that could mean bank accounts, whether they're joint or not. We typically will see cases where spouses have separate bank accounts that the other spouse doesn't know about, and those are all considered marital if they were opened during the marriage. And so this could also include stock brokerage accounts. This includes vehicles that were acquired during the marriage. This obviously includes a house that was purchased during the marriage, and any sort of other goods, especially expensive goods such as furniture, artwork, recreational vehicles, and any of that good stuff. The important thing to keep in mind is that these were accounts that were opened and that these were money that was deposited during the marriage. Those are some of the components that make these marital. And what will end up happening is that all of these assets will get pooled together if they're considered marital, and the starting point is that they're going to be divided evenly. And now obviously there's a lot of factors that will determine how specifically everything is divided out, but again, the starting point is that everything is going to be split 50-50. So going on to the next point, what are marital liabilities? Just like marital assets, marital liabilities are any sort of debts that were taken on during the marriage. So the most common examples that we see are spouses' credit card debts. Again, it's whether you know about them or not, it doesn't matter. If that spouse took out a credit card during the marriage, the starting point is that that's marital, and the other spouse is on the hook for 50% of it. The other common debts are obviously any sort of mortgage on the marital home, car loans for any cars that were purchased during the marriage. Sometimes this is going to be student debt if one of the spouses went to college during the marriage, and the list goes on. And so again, just like with marital assets, the starting point is that all of these liabilities are pooled together, and the starting point is that they're divided 50% as well. And so there's several things that you need to take into consideration before you file for divorce and during the divorce process. The first is that, again, all assets and all liabilities, the starting point is that they're going to be split up 50-50. So you need to work with an attorney or really do the due diligence to figure out which of these assets and which of these liabilities are marital and not, so you can get the benefit of either one. Another consideration is that you're most likely going to be going from 2 incomes down to 1. And so we typically see one spouse making more than the other spouse. And so that will create a lifestyle or a certain sense of security for the family unit. After the divorce is over, and oftentimes during the divorce, that lifestyle gets separated and the waters become murky as far as all of the money staying where it's supposed to. And so you really need to figure out what your life is going to look like afterwards and what adjustments need to be made to your lifestyle, because most likely you're going to have less income overall coming into your accounts, and you're also going to be paying more debts because you're taking on a larger portion of that marital debt. So those are some of the considerations you need to think about before you file the divorce. while you're going through the divorce. And obviously there's a lot more that you need to think about, but these are just some of the starting points that you need to consider before you file the divorce or during the process. And if you need any help sorting out these issues, feel free to give us a call. We're more than happy to help. Our number is 772-208-3118.